had so much secret family. I had spent my entire life running from my dad, who I thought was the leader of Satan worshiper group that ruled the government and everything else, terrified for my life. And when I found out that none of it was true and I decided to go and meet my dad, it occurred to me for the first time in my life that I had a whole bunch of family that I didn't know about. So once I'm back in contact, we plan this epic month-long trip to Taiwan. I've never been before, and I'm going to meet all of the family that I didn't even know existed. We have this wild 24-hour travel day, but I'm there with my dad, my little sister that I didn't know about until just recently, and my daughter, who is about my little sister's age, and they've been like best friends since they met. We make our way to my aunt's house, who I just found out about, and she lives in a house with like a whole bunch of my cousins. We're exhausted. Like, we've been traveling for more than a day, and we go, and she has this huge meal prepared. I don't speak any Chinese, and my family in Taiwan doesn't speak any English. I thought it might be a little awkward stepping in and meeting all these people I didn't know before. And when I did, for the first time in my life, I saw a whole room of people that look like me. Now, I grew up Mormon in Utah, so I hadn't seen another Asian person until I was like almost graduated high school. But these are not just Asian people. This is like my family. So I sit down and we're eating this meal, and all of a sudden there's this like eruption of exclamations of like, oh! And I look up and my whole family has their hands held up, all doing the same thing. And that thing is this. I'm double jointed and I can bend my fingers backwards. And so can all of they. So we're here in the middle of the night in this kitchen eating this amazing meal and all showing each other that our fingers bend backwards. It was a magical month. We traveled around the whole country. We met family all over. I got to see the mountainside that my dad grew up on. He has a crazy story too. And the wildest thing is that none of them knew that my dad was divorced, or that he hadn't seen his kids for 25 years, or that I grew up in a cult. Now, I'm very new to Chinese culture, so like, this is just what I understand. But apparently in Chinese culture, divorce problems is not something that you really talk about. So my dad, for the last 25 years, just never told his family what had happened. That his kids had been kidnapped away, that he hadn't been able to find them. So I had this whole group of people that had been loving me as family for 25 years that I didn't even know about. My dad just had that one picture of my brother and I from when we were really little, and their family was always like, why don't you have updated pictures of your kids? You've never seen them older. The truth is that he never saw them older either, us older. He would just say things like, oh, I left the pictures at home, I don't have them. He was just trying to smooth things over for 25 years, and then for the first time, we all got to meet each other.